Oh, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Putty. I'm back after another recording break. It's been a busy couple of weeks. I keep saying this, but hopefully I'm not losing the plot. I've actually really enjoyed 2022 so far, even though there's been big gaps between recording. That lets me think a lot, and I often have a lot of ideas coming into shows as to what I want to do, how I want to do it, and a lot of that tends to manifest. There have been a couple filler episodes, but I actually really enjoyed filler episodes in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling thus far. I hope you guys are enjoying the year as well. We have a big show for you tonight, our main event of the evening in a match to determine a shot at the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Championship in the future at some point. Is Logan Wolfsbane taking on Davis Wayne Newton. We also have a non-championship match as Robin DeLay is in action against the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Champion Ernest Youngman. The Mid-Atlantic Tag Team titles are on the line as the Southern Stars get a shot against a 1.5 year long Tag Team Championship reign of Devil May Care, that being the team of Shinigami. Not Shinigami, that's a long time ago now. Stuntman and Acid. We also have tonight Fro Shore taking on somebody. Who's Fro taking? Oh, Kamikaze tonight. It's going to be a good match. And Dewey Archer will take the ever so growing more infrequently appearing star of American Elemental. Of course, who is a big star over in Japan now and still likes to visit us here. We gave him his break, and I'm glad that he likes to come over every now and then and make appearances for us. Big match between two technical wrestlers there in Amel and Dewey Archer. That's our show tonight. Let's get ready. Let's get started. Capitol Gardens, big outside venue. Lots of festivals type stuff going on before the show tonight. And let's get into the main event of the weekend, Fan Festival. We kick off with a promo from George Wolf, who comes out and says, there are a lot of people who have been asking me lately whether Team Progress are falling apart, and I gotta look them in the eye, straight in the eye, and tell them they're damn wrong to even think such things. Team Progress is the tightest knit, the tightest grouped stable in the history of professional wrestling. What binds us together is more than simple necessity. It is a philosophy, it is an idea, it is a group of teachings. And I believe in my men, I believe in my followers, and I believe that every single one of them believe in me. And we sometimes agree that's the spirit of competition in us. But every time I look into the eyes of Robin DeLay, every time I look into the eyes of Logan Wolfsbane, I see a man who is my kin. We are the measuring sticks of professional wrestling. We look better, we work harder, we are the greatest wrestlers in the business today. And if those guys, they think that they can take shortcuts to get to the top, they're free to think so, but that is not what Team Progress is about. They want to do that, that is their prerogative. But that is not how I taught them. That is not how I raised them in this business. And sometimes it gets me angry when they pull shit like that. But at the end, we are brothers. We are kin. And we will stick together. George Wolf passionate. George Wolf wants to keep Team Progress together. Will he do so as we move on to our first main event of the evening for sure, as American Elemental takes on Dewey Archer in a 69C+. Great wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. These two have a wonderful technical wrestling match. Of course, American Elemental with a little bit of a faster paced grappling. Maybe he hits the top rope a couple times, takes a few risks, mixes in that Japanese junior style, which is a lot of high flying, innovative maneuvers in the vein of Optimus and Elemental, the original Elemental, back in the 70s and the 80s, stunning people with their high flying maneuvers, but with those solid technical basics that you'd find in Mexico as well. And as some really good technical wrestling from American Elemental, but he's in there with Dewey Archer, who over the last couple of years has become one of the greatest technical wrestlers in MAW history. Trained by the legendary Sam Keith, and indeed he can slickly, with a smile and a nod, go from hold to hold, work down American Elemental and go toe-to-toe with the fast-paced grappling of Amel, and indeed Dewey Archer does go toe-to-toe. He does put on one hell of a performance and picks up the victory with that legendary Proton Lock. Big victory here for Dewey Archer, who considers himself the uncrowned number one contender. But you've got to ask the question, if he thinks he's the number one contender, why hasn't he asked for a title shot yet? We move on to the impromptu team of Mean Machine and Diaz. We've seen them team a couple times this year in an all-out absolute brawl with the Blazing Saddles. We have Cowboy Buck Winchester and Cowboy Brad Blaze, the absolute nightmarish brawlers who can win a bar brawl faster they can win a tag team championship. That's for damn sure. They're professional cowboys, and there's only two things that they're sure of. One, a saddle is rougher at night than it is at day, and two, these fists can take on anybody, and that's what they do tonight, trying to beat down the brawlers across the ring from them. They're looking at two of the most successful young athletes in the business today. James Diaz is a machine. And the Mean Machine, well, machine is in his name. You know, these two are absolutely insane, and their momentum and their power is unstoppable, and that's exactly what this match shows. As Mean Machine. No, Mean Machine and Diaz hit big, high-impact moves, beating down, winding the momentum of the Blazing Saddles and absolutely destroying them with their physical prowess. It's a good performance from the Barroom Brawlers, but they're just no match for the absolute brutality that is James Diaz and Mean Machine. We move on to a very good B minus here, 73, as Ernest Youngman does indeed defeat Robin DeLay. And during the match, actually, this is a relatively even matchup, because Robin DeLay manages, with his power and his strength, to kind of break out of those holds that Ernest Youngman likes to put on. We've talked about it before, but when you're as big as Robin DeLay is, of course, a member of Team Progress, known for their genetic superiority, when you're as big as Robin DeLay is, he works very hard, he's in the gym all the time, you can break out of holes that other people would have to escape out of. That's exactly what Robin DeLay does tonight. We've seen this matchup before, and often Ernest does pick up the victory, often Ernest does have the advantage, but Robin DeLay always puts on a good performance because he's able to stop the sequences of Ernest Youngman. Ernest Youngman likes to have control over a match, go from certain holds to certain holds, one after another, in a sequence that makes him feel comfortable. Robin DeLay makes him feel uncomfortable. It's not an Ernest Youngman match, and indeed Robin DeLay seems to be on par a little bit with the heavyweight champ tonight. But he's a little bit behind, so he looks for an equalizer, and he ends up accidentally knocking out the referee, and he thinks to himself, this is a good opportunity to get my equalizer. You know, with one little cut corner, Robin DeLay may be able to win this match, and indeed he heads to the outside. He throws one of the comms off of, because I was about to say throw Gary Walker off comms, but Gary Walker, of course, as we know, is now training in the Mid-Atlantic Dojo and is not on comms anymore. But he throws Marvelous Marv, the other Marvelous Marv, off of his chair and picks up a chair, and he runs into the ring. He starts to look like he's going to hit Ernest Youngman with it, but Papa Dan rips the chair out of Robin DeLay's hands, and Robin DeLay looks at Papa Dan like, the fuck, Papa Dan? You're supposed to be, whose side are you on? And Papa Dan, like, gives him a bit of a bollocking, in the traditional Papa Dan way. Like, he's not saying, you motherfucker, he's like, oh, look here, I'm Papa Dan. And George said no cheating. And Papa Dan clearly took his old friend George Wolf's words to heart earlier tonight, and throughout the months, actually, and wants to stop Robin DeLay and the rest of Team Progress from cheating their asses off. And Robin DeLay is incensed, and Ernest Youngman picks up the victory with the hit. And obviously Papa Dan's little intervention there cost Robin DeLay a chance to win the match. And Robin DeLay does not look very happy. And after the match he attacks Papa Dan! What? No! Robin DeLay just picks up that chair and is like, fine, you don't want me to cheat? You don't want me to cheat? Just smack, across, straight, unprotected chair shot to the head of the beloved Papa Dan. The statesman of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. This is like kicking a puppy. And not only that, they're supposed to be stablemates. We got a speech. First thing tonight, we got a speech that Team Progress were brothers. They were kin, and they would stick together. And the first thing Robin DeLay decides to do after his match is hit Papa Dan across the face with a steel chair. It is brutal. You know, it's not that surprising from someone like Robin DeLay, but I expect better. Especially from the protege of George Wolf. And indeed, Robin DeLay, a brutal, bloody beatdown, leaving Papa Dan in a pool of blood in the middle of the ring. A disgraceful, despicable attack from Robin DeLay. Absolutely disgusting. But what does this mean for Team Progress? The ring crew get the ring cleaned out. Hopefully Papa Dan is okay, but the show, it must indeed go on. And indeed, Frosure does defeat Kamikaze with his what did I call it? Well, it's the Death Valley Driver. That's what I know it's not, because, Respray probably doesn't say it is. But I think a Death Valley Driver is a good move for Fro. Hits the sure thing. Very short match, traditional stuff. Kamikaze, fast-paced, gets his spots in. Fro Sure with his energetic California style brawling, picking up the victory with a sure thing, showing him the heart. And Fro Sure, of course, not having a good couple months. And after the match, he actually looks a little dejected. Looks a little sad, even though he won the match. And indeed, he gets on the mic and he sits in the middle of the ring, looking like a broken man in a way. And he says, it's been a rough couple of years. I was injured last year, as you guys know, and it was really rough. 4 months without pay was rough for our family. It was rough for our household, and I came back and I was vitriolic. I had more passion, more rage than I've ever had in my life. And 2 months ago, my whole purpose in professional wrestling, the one reason why I could keep fighting, I failed. I know that purpose, that drive, that passion, it's been hiding a lot of things, and it's not good at home, guys. I don't like to bring my home life to the wrestling ring, at least not much, but it's not good at home right now. And me coming out here, traveling the entire country every month, is just, it's putting a strain on things. I did wrestling so that I could pay for my wife and my kids to have a better life, but I'm starting to think if I have to travel from California to New York, sorry, boo, says the crowd, from California to North Carolina, or here in DC every month, it's just not worth it. I don't get to see my kids, I don't get to see my wife, and things are a little strained between me and her, and I need to sort that out. I need to put her first. So I'm going to go sort things out with my family. I'm going to make things right with my family. And then I will come back to professional wrestling, because I love this business and I want this to be my ticket to the life that she deserves. But I need to make things right with her first. So mark my words, I'll see you again. But I got some stuff to sort out, so it might be a while. I wanted to thank every single one of you for making my crusade here in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling as enjoyable as it has been, no matter how dark things have gotten. Thank you, and I hope you continue to enjoy this one hell of a promotion, bro. And For Sure walks out a little sad, but there's some hope in his heart, you can tell. Clearly has some stuff to sort out, but he promises he'll be back, and I believe him. I believe our Tag Team Championship match is up next. It is indeed, as the Southern Stars end the streak by defeating Devil May Care in 11 minutes and 17 seconds. When Animal Harper defeats Stuntman by pinfall with the Stump Pile Driver, Southern Stars win the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Tag Team Championships. As, of course, Devil May Care, the energetic Valhalla, high-risk, heelish bastards keep Tennessee Williams, is that his name? Tennessee William in the corner for most of the match, working him down, separating the ring, isolating him. They've been together for a long time now, tag team champions for well over a year, and they're able to isolate Tennessee Williams. But Tennessee Williams, he's got that heart, he's got that passion. He's not lying when they said that they were one of the best teams in the Texas territory, and indeed, he breaks free, jumps across the ring, and here comes one of the greatest hot tags in the business today, Animal Harker, who comes in and brutally brawls with his opponents, brawling with Stuntman, throws him over the top rope, big boot to acid. Stuntman still legal. Stuntman heads to the top rope, tries to go for that Valhalla high-risk style match move. Of course, he doesn't care how many concussions he gets, doesn't care how many broken bones he gets, so long as it leads to glory, and there ain't no better glory than the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championships, and Stuntman will not stay down, and he flings himself across the ring, but he's no match for the power and the vitriol of Animal Harker, who claws him out of the sky, brings him to the ground, and finally, Stump Pile Driver, new Tag Team Champions. The Southern Stars have proven, they've beaten everyone in Texas, they've beaten everyone in Florida, and now finally, they've come here to Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, and they've done what they've done best, win championships. They're the Cowboys in town, and they're the Tag Team Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our main event of the evening. Logan Wolfsbane versus Davis Wayne Newton. The winner gets a future Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Tag Team Championship match. Not Tag Team Championship match, just normal heavyweight championship match. There you go. And in a very good match, a great match indeed, in a decent reaction from the crowd, Davis Wayne Newton defeats Logan Wolfsbane by submission with an STF. So, yeah, during this match, Logan Wolfsbane and Davis Wayne Newton, they have a very good technical match. Logan Wolfsbane trying to use his brutal, vicious, aggressive, strength-based technical wrestling to work down the young Canadian Davis Wayne, the triple threat. Whereas Davis Wayne tries to use a fast-paced style. Fast-paced, quick, but still grappling, moving from hold to hold, trying to keep Logan Wolfsbane on his toes. Logan Wolfsbane, more of a hold-based, more of a chain wrestler, although he can utilize those submissions, of course. Broke a leg with his Boston Crab a couple of years ago, infamously. And indeed, Davis Wayne, though, faster-paced, much more technician-based. A little bit of Sean McFly in there. You can definitely sense a young Sean McFly, although I have to say Davis Wayne isn't that young anymore. And of course, we've seen all through this year, Davis Wayne is desperate. Davis Wayne has had a lot of hardship. He has been kicked out from a lot of wrestling companies, been kicked out from a lot of schools, a lot of wrestling schools, a lot of normal schools. His entire life he has struggled to find a home. And here in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, so many people have found homes. Ernest Youngman, Greg Gage, Roddy Remus, so many people you wouldn't have expected to have found true success, have found it here. And he thought, you know what, I'll go for it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to become an ace here. And this is his, getting on in years. He's almost 35 now. This is his last chance, he feels. And we've seen him get more and more desperate, so much so that he cheated to get to the finals of the Ripcord Invitational last year. But the last couple of months, he's turned a new leaf. We started at the start of the year to see that new attitude, that new cheating mentality, winning mentality. And it was working for a little while, but it didn't feel right. And you know what? It wasn't really working. He never really got anywhere. And he was spending a little time with his road buddy, his friend, Fro Shore. And he started to calm down a bit. We saw the last couple of months he wasn't cheating as much. He was using more of that ability. And tonight he showed his ability. He showed that he can go hold for hold with one of the greatest technical wrestlers in the business today. Logan Wolfsbane, former Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Champion. A very, very good performance from Davis Wayne against a man against whom it counts. And this was a very sterling performance from Davis Wayne Newton, but Logan had the edge. Of course he did. He's bigger. He works out every day, and he's naturally gifted. And as Team Progress are apt to say, some people are just born champions. And Logan Wolfsbane looks like it. Logan Wolfsbane looks like a build-a-wrestler doll. He is ripped to the core. He is faster. He is stronger. He is smarter than anybody else in this roster. And, it takes a absolute once-in-a-generation talent like Ernest Youngman to put Logan Wolfsbane down. And Davis Wayne can't do it. He knows he can't do it. But he's holding in there, and I don't think Logan realizes that he's got the advantage. Maybe he thinks... Because honestly, in professional wrestling, there's not that much of an advantage you can have. If Logan holds out, the longer the match goes on, the more Logan has the advantage because Davis Wayne is just making more mistakes. But all it takes is 3 seconds, and Davis Wayne gets the victory. So the ref gets knocked out. And Robin DeLay, who's out there, of course... completely unshackled from Papa Dan. And of course, George Wolf is probably attending to his friend. George can't do anything about this. Robin DeLay gets a steel chair, bloodied. Papa Dan's blood is still probably on the steel chair. And he throws it into the ring, and Logan Wolfsbane looks like he's about to clock Davis Wayne with it, but then he stops and he thinks, nah, you know what? I'm going to play mind games just like I did with Fro. That was fun. And he drops the chair and he shuffles it towards Davis Wayne, and he gets on his knees. And Davis Wayne thinks that Davis Wayne is hurt. Not mentally, not spiritually. It's not like Fro, where there's this rage and this anger building up with him. Davis Wayne is just fatigued. He's been in there for like 18 minutes fighting, and he knows he's against someone better. And he looks at Logan Wolfsbane's face and he sees everything he hates. A guy who was entitled, a guy who hasn't had to work for anything in his life, got into his first choice of college, got into his first choice of wrestling school, got into Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, the best developmental territory in the business today, shot straight to the top, won the title in 2 years of being here. Got everything handed to him. Whereas Davis Wayne Newton, he had to work so hard. He's got to work for every single opportunity he's given. He hasn't been perfect, but he's worked damn hard, and when he looks into the eyes of Logan Wolfsbane, he sees everything he hates, and he knows that Logan's better, and that burns him up inside. He just knows that Logan's better, and he can't handle it. And he looks down at the steel chair, he smells the blood, and he smiles. And he smiles at Logan. And he clocks him over the head with the steel chair. And he does it again, and again, and again, and again, until Logan is a pile of unconscious meat and blood in the middle of the ring. He tosses the steel chair at Robin DeLay, who is in shock and awe. The referee gets up. He just sees a bloody Logan Wolfsbane, and Davis Wayne smiling with blood all over his chest. Davis Wayne locks on the STF, and Logan Wolfsbane is passed the fuck out at this point. He's gone. He's got multiple concussions. Ref calls for the bell, and Davis Wayne Newton has a future Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Championship shot. And of course Davis Wayne doesn't let up the hold. Of course he doesn't. Davis Wayne is incensed. Davis Wayne has nothing but hatred, and he just rips further and further back, further doing damage to Logan's windpipes, to Logan's head. Because of course none of the air is getting to his head, none of the blood is getting to his head. He's just brutalizing this star player. He's brutalizing this guy, taking away years off his career maybe, as he just rips back further on a guy who's lost so much blood, who is unconscious, just keeps holding him in that STF, just keeps ripping at him. And Froshore comes out, tries to get his friend some sense, tries to get Davis Wayne to his senses, and Davis Wayne, of course, has no senses at this point. He does let go of the STF, but he just slaps Froshore in the face, straight in the face. Froshore falls to the ground. Fro's shocked. He's surprised. He's not quite sure what Davis Wayne is thinking. And Davis Wayne heads to the outside and thinks, oh, maybe he's got his senses back now. He's on the outside. He's breathing. He's sighing. But then he looks at Froshore and he smiles. And he goes and gets the steel chair from next to Robin DeLay. Robin DeLay is still shocked and in awe. And he picks up the steel chair and he rolls back in the ring. And he just clocks Froshore over the head with the steel chair. And he hits him again. And again. And again. Davis Wayne Newton is done taking the hard route. He's done working hard for every single opportunity he has to get. He's going to do what he wants to do. And people are just going to have to deal with it. Davis Wayne Newton is indeed now a heel. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed. That type of storyline has been on my head for a very long time. In fact, Davis Wayne has been in my head for a very long time. I've had this character arc or something similar in mind for Davis Wayne Newton for 4 years at least now. So getting to finish this character arc for him is definitely satisfying for me. I had him on my list of, if a main eventer leaves, he's one of the guys I bring in to instantly replace them with. But after a while, I realized that there were other guys that I just want to do more with, and if I wanted to pull the trigger on Davis Wayne, it was going to have to be now because of his age. And I thought I'd modify it a little bit to make up for his age and stuff. And I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed the whole arc for him this year, because there have been a lot of I've been trying really hard to lay some groundwork for that this year and make it natural. And I hope it pulled off. I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun booking that this year. It was one of the things I was looking most forward to this year. There's a few storylines that I've got planned next year that I'm really looking forward to, but they require two guys not getting signed that could very well get signed. So I'm hoping I get to pull that off, but one thing I can definitely be sure of is I got to pull the Triple Threats storyline off, and that's really great. I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys did too. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. Check out the rest of the series. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're feeling especially generous, check out the link to my Patreon. Link to that is in the description. And my Twitter is also in the description, where you can find me rambling. And I'm literally rambling because I've posted a lot of Blood Bowl lately. So, link to that is in the description. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed again. Let me know what you thought in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time for the Sam Keith Classic, which will be definitely a palate cleanser. Not as much emotion in the show next month, but immediately after that, of course, Davis Wayne gets his title shot. So, we'll see. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.